Greetings, my friends. Today I got some new mud fossil decodes for you. We have finally discovered the dragon from the Wales flag, Ddraig Goch. I always knew it was here somewhere, and that it was England, or that England is part of it. Now I got some bonus for you too. I think I figured out what Iceland is. And we're gonna look at some brains for architecture. There are different brains that the continents are made of throughout this place. But first thing, Ddraig Goch. It is seemingly much bigger than the typhoon. Now that's pretty huge if you ask me. It's standing 2,000 kilometers tall. Now that doesn't seem to add up with the story. There's no space for that under a little castle. But it is laying down in that position. Now we do have similar flags, like the Tartarian flags, the Griffin, and some other dragon Tartarian flags. So it could be one of these also. Or the story of Ddraig Goch is simply watered down and rewritten, which will not be surprising, as they constantly rewrite history. However, what does add up is that this dragon's roar was so powerful that it will kill the fetus in a mother's womb and kill other things as well. But this thing, fighting another dragon, fighting this white dragon, that will be a pretty apocalyptic event. That will cause tremendous earthquakes, thousands of kilometers in its radius, I suppose. I almost can't imagine. It's such a grim, dark past. People have no idea what Stockholm Syndrome could be having from these fearful events. I think the fear of this might be deep down in our biology, which could explain why people are so obedient to God or to Satan, or even to Jesus. It's an illusion of choice, in my opinion, as I have showed you in my previous video with the Flight of Dragon scene. Every god and deity is just another name and just another mask. And even the God of the Bible is telling you this casually, changing name from Baal to Lord, saying he is the one who's doing all these things, these good and evil things, actually telling you he is taking on both roles as both the good guy and the bad guy. Now, about the brains for architecture. I finally figured out what my country is, and it seems to be the brains of this dragon, and including the spinal cord. As you can see here, the shape of the south part of Norway pretty much matches a brain perfectly to the smallest detail. That's confirmation right there. And since England is flat, that will explain why England is flat. Like Roger said, he thinks that the bones didn't survive the transformations in the creation of the landscapes. But it seems like there are different types of petrifications, where the petrified bodies has not crumbled, but rather turned into perfect statues. And as you can see here, the shape of the landscape reaching north of Norway is following the shape of a spinal cord. It seems like whoever god or archon who did this might have separated the spinal cord from the brain and placed it there, or just shaped it like that while it's still attached. Now, there are some smaller dragons. I seemingly live on one that is about 400 kilometers long, but as we have discovered here on this channel, is that there are impressions. So how do I know this is not an impression? Well, there are abrupt transitions, and this dragon is seemingly don't have a long neck like this Ddraig Goch. And the impression in the landscape is confirming that. This is not a dragon with a long neck. It has more of a humanoid throat or neck, you know. And here's another, even smaller dragon I have not shown you before. At least the head of it. I have not located the body. It could be underwater. But you know what's funny? The throat of this, its name is throat. Halsen in Norwegian, meaning throat. How about that? Truth in plain sight. And there's a nearby humanoid arm, whose name is Dønna mannen in Norwegian, which means dead man or exploded man when translated from Norwegian to English. And I can't really locate the body of this giant. I mean, this thing over here, it could be its head. I have yet to confirm that. I think I need to go there and do some boots on ground research to figure that out. And the size compared to the arm doesn't really add up. But that could be an error on the map. However, it's just the arm, so that giant might have exploded, you know. It's crazy. Or maybe it was eaten by a dragon or something. By the way, it was thanks to this guy, a guy on Facebook who called himself Dragon Fossils, who helped me locate this dragon, Ddraig Goch. So shout out to him. Now, we got more brains for architecture. We got the Ymir's brain, the biggest mud fossil of them all that we know of, used to construct the skies or the heavens, who we discovered thanks to Danny Wilton. And we got Antarctica, that is seemingly a brain. That was easier to see thanks to this special map I came across in a flat earth forum. And here we got the brains of Scorpzilla, what Roger called it. Now that brain is pretty big to be a scorpion's brain, but it's safe to assume that it doesn't have to be exactly like a scorpion. It could be an Archon who transformed into this. So there we go, we got 4 brains. Not that the scorpion brain was taken out from the scorpion. But after I confirmed the Norwegian brain of Ddraig Goch, then it was easy to spot that one. But now, where is this Antarctica brain coming from? It could be Africa, or the Middle East and Chinese area, this huge dragon, the Chinese dragon. Or maybe South America is some kind of head. It's not easy to tell. It could even be from a creature that is from a place beyond Google Earth and the official world map. I have yet to figure out what South America is. Well, that's gonna be an interesting thing to figure out. And now for the bonus. Iceland. Now there are volcanoes here. So that wasn't really a difficult thing to figure out. If volcanoes are part of dragon biology, the ability to create a fire from chemicals, from lithium. Did you know that if you put the content of a lithium battery in water, it will explode? Chemical, causing fire from the chemical reaction, no problem. So anyways, I obviously considered that Iceland could be a lung, and that seems to make perfect sense. If you see these patterns here, it seemed to match up with a lung. And the surface seemed to be a mix of the inside of the lung and the outside, with the outside being exposed somehow. And some of the outer layer of this lung is also still intact. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new, and please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.